Greetings, badasses. How's it going? Ooh, Oh, low. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company, Yoga for the Rest of Us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. Um, Trying to find something that I might be interested in listening to. I'm going to go to I Need Something. I'm on the I Need Something playlist. This is the beginning yoga. How's it going? I don't know about you. I was really looking forward to shit settling down. And it just feels like, ooh, excuse me, no coffee. It just feels like just keeps getting, it's like piddly, right? I'm getting nibbled on piddly. I'm like, like the little dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, the little compies. And here's my other big issue today, my rage. It's not rage. I'm just really irritated right now about the fact that banks, doctors, insurance companies, all of those people who we give and are expected to give, work with money to, time, energy, make your appointment, be on time. I got confirm. And we are also very dependent on technology. And that's another issue. In terms of they are dependent upon, we sent you a text message and you did not confirm. I got 2 of those calls this week. Didn't get those text messages. But they all want you to do things timely. It's really irritating. But when they cause you a problem, it's fuck all, right? Fuck all. So it's frustrating. And I will admit that I lost my shit on Tuesday, and I have been kind of spiraling and spinning my wheels throughout the week. And it's not a great place to make decisions from. It's not a great place to look at things with clarity from. And yeah. So anyway, it's a bummer. So I'm going to take back my fucks. Actually, I can't take them back because I gave them. I want to refill my fuck tank. This is beginning yoga. This is a true beginning yoga class. This is not an all levels class design, pretending to be a beginning yoga class or pretending to be accessible for beginners. That's not an ideal situation. And we're going to start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Legs extended, out in front of you is staff pose. If you're feeling comfortable like that, that's cool. If you're feeling tug behind the hamstrings or a little tug in your low back, you might want to grab something, a bolster or a blanket, and roll it up and tuck it behind your knees. You can go one leg out, one leg in. This is a perfectly lovely position. And you control the strength of the stretch in this position based on the angle of your leg. So the narrower the angle, the less stretch you're going to feel. You're going to feel that in the adductor, maybe, probably in the adductor on this side, hip. What are they called? The hip flexors, right? External rotational stretching. Or you can join me in pleasant seated pose. It is not crisscross applesauce. It is not fucking lotus. Both of my legs are on the mat in parallel. My feet are right here, right? If you're determined to sit here, that's fine. I can't control you. I can't force you to take things easy. I'd like you to take things, at a moderate pace. but to each his own. And but if your knees are very high and you're making a face and you're leaning back to compensate and you're starting to feel tension and energy in your hip flexors, grab a couple of blocks, grab a blanket, grab a couple of throw pillows, and rest your legs on those so that you can relax in this position. And over time, you will gain this external rotation mobility. But let's give your body a break, right? It took us a long time to get into the physical state that we are in, and it's going to take us a long time to make improvements. Oh gosh. And now I'm going to give you my spiel that I have traditionally in the past given every beginning class. I'm going to keep that up. I'm reigniting this tradition. Yoga is not a competitive sport. Okay. The only person you need to be concerned with is you. We are reintroducing and building this relationship that we have with this very intimate relationship that we have with our body. And our body sends us signals to tell us that we might be damaging something. And pain, right, is your body's warning system. You are about to or have caused damage. Pain creates a face. It's a scrunched up face or a clenched teeth, tension all the way down the neck, eyes squinted. And that's a sign that you are pushing yourself past, I don't want to say comfort level. You are pushing yourself towards injury. That's what I'll say. When I am with you in person, when I'm with clients in person, the first thing I do when I see that look on their face is pull them back, is take them out. They're striving for something that they have seen, an image of quote unquote perfect yoga, either on the cover of a magazine that shall not be named, or some celebrity's been doing it, or you've seen them online. Oh my God, the Instagram and they're just full of shitty fucking yoga. It makes me want to scream. Anyway, the fucking yoga company is about helping you discover your healthy alignment. The positions and the alignment of your body are different than mine, right? We're all carrying different baggage, varying weights, varying shapes, and some of it, is injury, and some of it is illness, and we need to be able to unpack that baggage at our own pace. There's no instant perfect pose that's going to release all of that. Yoga is the long con, and it takes time to make change. So I use a term that I love that I got from my first yoga, or not my first yoga instructor, my first cycle instructor, April. Comfortably uncomfortable. Okay. There will be discomfort. I want you to challenge yourself. What I don't want you to do is injure yourself. And I don't want you to be reaching for something that might never happen. I am never, I've been doing yoga since I was 18. I am 55, 56. Maybe I've been doing yoga for, is that 36 years? I can't. I haven't had coffee. Anyway, I am not ever going to be able to sit in this staff position and bring this leg up to my ear vertically toward the ceiling. That is not a life skill. Life skills are driving a stick shift, learning how to swim, learning how to ride a bike. Oh, there's probably a couple more in there. That is not a life skill, nor should it be your goal. So that's where we're at. We're gonna baby step it, and we want to treat this body like the wonderful, amazing best friend that it is, rather than a combatant. It has not given up. It hasn't given up on us, right? It really works hard. Pulling our attention and awareness from the external to the internal, taking a scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form, noticing how you're feeling. I want you to check in and see if there are areas that you're feeling tension or tightness. Did you sleep funny? What did you do over the past few days? Are you coming off of a virus? The norovirus has been going crazy here. Are you under a lot of, have you been dealing with a lot of assholes? I have. My last 2 weeks have been filled with nothing but assholes. Bank assholes, doctor assholes, IRS assholes. That all plays out in our bodies. Pulling that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. Check in. How are you doing this morning? I haven't been sleeping well because I have allowed the assholes to take my fucks. And tired. Oh. It's also like, I'm not going to complain because we're not on fire. Knock on wood. It's like, I think it's 10 below. No, it wasn't that cold this morning. No, 4 below. I wasn't far off. It's only going to be like 7 degrees today. So it's okay. I don't have to go anywhere. Well, I do have to go outside for a little bit, but it will be a short trip. Anyway, I'm going to stay cozy, comfy, warm. So I'm going to let some of the stuff go out of my brain that I've been thinking about doing. It's also the weekend. So there's a lot of things I can't tackle. Moving that stuff off to the side, I want to create and hold a soft and silent space in my brain for the practice. I would like to work on keeping that openness, that silence, attached to the space that I'm taking up on the mat and focused on my breath. So there's going to be a little, I can't think of a good metaphor for that. So, and now I'm moving that silence and attention into my breath and paying attention to how I'm breathing. Wow, that was a rough sentence. In yoga, we traditionally breathe into and out of our noses. If you're not able to do that, just breathe, right? If you're struggling with sinus issues or it's really dry, or if you're dealing with the fires or smoke in LA, I have empathy for you because we did that. 2020, we did that in the middle of the pandemic. Unclench the teeth. Work on keeping the tongue relaxed away from the mouth. Now we're going to move to increase the length and balance of this breath. Now this doesn't have to be the most powerful breath you've got. You don't have to breathe like Darth Vader. I know you've heard those people in class. We don't need to sound like a pit of vipers. If you want to work towards that Ujjayi breath, it's called the victorious breath. It's a little valving at the back of your throat. And the way I cue people to find it is to press the back of your tongue to the back of your molars. And you'll feel a little contraction in your throat. And it allows you to make that hissing sound when you're breathing into and out of your nose. It doesn't have to be powerful. It doesn't have to be loud. You don't have to freak the cat the fuck out. It's really about modulating the length and balance of the breath. It's not about proving, what a fabulous yogi you are. You know those people I'm talking about. But we're going to increase the length of the inhale and work to connect it to the length of the exhale. So it's rhythmic, right? And I just want you to find a little bit longer than your intuitive breath if you can, but work on that rhythm of breath. wherever you are in the balance and of that breath. Let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. Sweeping the arms up to the ceiling. Oh, it's going to turn into a yawn. Oh, letting that all go. Excuse me. Coming on up this extension, let's take a lateral stretch. I'm going to tip over to one side, but I'm reaching with my hand out and away from my hip, and then I'm going to reach with my armpit and rib cage up toward the ceiling. Inhaling up and taking it down. I've been doing this with my dad every day. I've tried to grab him and help him stretch to the ceiling. Oh. Let's inhale up and take a forward fold, tracing the fingers down, tucking the chin. Let's follow with the body. I'm resting the body weight on my forearms. Knees, calves, ankles, blocker floor. I'm going to stick right here with the calves. Tuck the chin, unclench the teeth, wiggle the toes, relax the energy out of the feet. And we're breathing here for a few breaths. Walking our hands back. Nice, lovely inhale up. Releasing that on down and tucking the hands behind the hips. Bow the chin forward. Oh, yeah, feel that. Right up the back of the neck. Slowly work an ear over to one side. Head tilts. And we're slowly, releasing an ear over to the other side. Out, Chihuahua. Releasing the chin, down. Tracing the fingertips around the front of the body, slowly stacking cervical spine. We're going to change the cross of the legs. If you're in staff pose, you get to stay right there. The rest of us are going to move. Inhaling up. We're going to go cactus arms. So I'm squeezing those elbows back, dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. And then I'm exhaling and rounding my back into a C curve. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. And then C curve it. Oh, so stiff. Inhaling right through the thoracic spine. What are we doing? Inhaling up to go down for forward fold. Sorry. Tracing the fingers down, taking the bow, tuck the chin. We're going to rest the body weight on our forearms. Wiggle the toes, relax the feet, unclench the teeth. Walking our hands back. Nice big stretch up. Releasing the hands down, tucking the hands behind the hips, bowing the chin. Take a tilt of one ear over to one side. And releasing the chin down. Oh, I'm going to hold here for a minute. I've got a hitch. Oh, in my lucky loo. There it is. Oh. Releasing the chin down, tracing the fingertips. Oh, slowly around the body. Stacking cervical spine. Sorry, I jumped that spot. Step. Moving to hands and knees. I like to pad my knees with a blanket. I'm also working with a block. And I'll explain that in a minute. My knees are bony. They're one of the few bony places on my body. And I like to pad them with a blanket because, ouchie. I'm also using a block. I'm using a block between my feet to keep my legs in parallel. And this is a hip external, internal rotation issue. Tight hips. If I weren't doing this work with the block between my ankles, my toes would rock in, and that changes look at it. Just, you can feel it. If you rotate your toes out, you can feel that in your hips. And if you rotate your toes in, you can feel that in your hips. So I'm working on tight hips. Move the heels of their hands out from underneath the shoulders. Full palms length. Inhale at center. And exhale, tuck the chin. Take the forearms down. Little tuck of the tailbone. And draw back into the fold. Now, if you want your head to touch the mat, and you're like me, you have thunder thighs, it's a power issue, or a belly, I'm not going to apologize for that. Your booty is going to be way high. Now, you're going to hear yoga teachers say, tuck your butt down towards your heels. You can do that, but look at your head's going to tilt up. So decide where you want to feel that. Play with both positions and see where you're going to get the most benefit. Inhaling forward, let's what the fuck lean. Push into the hip. Oh. And to the other side. I'm going to do that a few times. Now on this side, I'm feeling it through the glute and down the IT band. When I lean to the left, I'm feeling it in my right adductor, the inner thigh, the hip, and all of those other places as well. One more time. Inhaling to center. Tuck the chin, take the forearms down, little scoop of the belly, draw back into the fold. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Inhaling forward. What the fuck lean? Angry cat tuck here. Inhale to flat back, tuck the toes. We're just going to hold here and take a little stretch. Bonnie Hanrahan, frickin' Garfius. I think about you almost every day. We were, we were playing a drinking game, probably at the Schnitzers. Tuck that flat, inhaling to center. Tuck the chin, take the forearms down, scoop the belly. Kim was there. I think Kim was there. Kim was there. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrist. Kimberly. She grabbed my big toe and popped it, yanked it right out of the socket. Inhaling forward. Let the fuck lean. And now, bitch, I have arthritis. My left big toe. Through no fucking fault of my own. Angry cat tuck. Okay, I'm bringing my attention back to the mat. Sorry. Angry cat tuck. Let's talk a little bit about this for a minute. It's not just an arch to the ceiling. You're going to hear people just say, arch your back to the ceiling. The thoracic spine is very flexible. It's the most flexible part of the body, right? Part of the spine next to the cervical spine. It moves in all the directions, right? And this is the thoracic spine is the center of your body. If you're just arching there, you're not going to get a lot of stretch because it's very flexible. So angry cat is about the space between the waistband and the tailbone. Soften the elbows, tuck the chin, scoop the belly, but tuck the tailbone, and then lean slightly back, and you will find the space that needs to be stretched. That's an angry cat stretch. Inhaling forward. Let's lower the forearms to the mat and tuck into the feet. I'm pressing up. This is just a little energy with a low, this is a modified dolphin pose. Mostly because we're not moving our toes towards our face. Bringing the knees down, tuck the feet flat, come on up, and let Chakravakasana bow. Tuck the chin, take the forearms down, scoop the belly, draw it back. Now, in an ideal world, we're going to find and move through those little places where we're experiencing tension or tightness. What the fuck, lean? Angry cat tuck, right? I'm soft in the elbows. My shoulders are shrugged. I've tucked the tailbone. I'm scooping the low belly. And I'm leaning back. Inhaling to flat back. We're going to go down to the forearms. Tuck those toes. Roll through the feet. Step a tiny baby step forward. We're just holding here. I'm soft in the knees. My ankles are in parallel, so they're not sagging out or in. Come on down and take a child's pose here. Walk the hands over to the left. Reach that right arm out a little further. Oh. That's your teres minor and your subscapularis. Walk the right hand over. Reach the left hand out. Coming on center. Chakravakasana bow. Tuck the chin down, take the forearms down, little scoop of the belly. Draw back into the fold. Wiggle the fingers, spread them nice and wide. Make a fist with the thumb outside. Spread the fingers. Make a fist with the thumb inside as best you can. Spread the fingers. Inhaling forward. What the fuck, lean? Angry cat tuck. All right, I'm going to tuck my toes. We're going to stay on our hands right now rather than going down to the forearms. Roll into the feet. Take that baby step forward. And now press into a heel, a little deeper calf stretch. Soften the elbows, shrug the shoulders down. This is my squish in the elbows, squish in the knees. Look forward between your thumbs, and we're walking ourselves up. So just walk your feet forward to the end of the mat. I'm going to grab a block. I have many yoga blocks. I think they are one of the most useful props ever. Plus, you can use them in other ways. My husband, the beard, likes to use them to work on the sink when he has to. I use them to stand on to reach things. I probably shouldn't do that, but I do. Elbows to knees. Come on up. Big reach to the ceiling. Let's give me 3 big open arm circles just because. Oh, big reach up. Inhaling up. Lateral extension. Inhaling up. Lateral extension. We're going to go forward folding chair. So let's talk about forward folding chair. We're going to work a little Utkatasana today. And this happened because son 2 came to the house. What was he doing? Dropping off stuff. And was having issues with his low back from driving and being in the car. He's a very tall human being. And with a very high center of gravity, obviously there's a lot of strain on his low back. Just in life. So I was teaching him forward folding chair. I know you would think that with a mother who's done yoga for 36 years, I don't know if that's right, he'd actually do some fucking yoga. But you know what? No one in my family does any yoga. K-girl might. Son 1 should, to protect his overall physicality. All right. So chair pose is exactly what you think it sounds like. It's chair. It's like sitting in a chair. So I'm going to show you the mechanics of it. I'm going to grab my ball. And you can do this on any low kitchen chair. I only have one low kitchen chair. It's right there. I use it for chair yoga. We sit on bar top stools. But I want you to think about the mechanics of sitting down in a chair, right? My feet are in neutral position. So I'm lined up with the ischial spine, which is the front blade of your pelvic cradle, femur, knee, tibia, middle toe or second toe. Okay. Soft in the knees, balance left to right. Engage the core and imagine I'm going to sit down on this ball. I'm going to sit down on this ball, but I want you to imagine it, right? Or grab a stool and do it. Right there. I want you to think about and pause right before your ass touches the thing. I'm leaning into my heels. I've scooped my belly. This right here is chair pose. Okay? Come on up. It's a power pose. It's core work. It's glute work. It's thighs, quads. Thighs and quads are the same thing. But did you feel the rock into your heels? And your toes should be loose. Your toes come off the mat. So the contact is solely right in the heels. So let's do that again. I'm in neutral position with my feet. I've got my core pulled up and in. I'm going to inhale. And now I'm going to sit down as though I was sitting on that ball right here. Okay. Now I go here because it helps me imagine where my chest should be. You don't have to go as deep as that ball. That ball is 23 5 inches. I think it's just the height of a traditional kitchen chair. Kitchen tables usually are 27 inches. I think. I haven't had coffee, and it's been a hell of a few months at sea. So I think my brain is just actually starting to work, which is great. Except I'm not sleeping, so it's not really working, which sucks. Okay, I'm back on the mat. See how it happens? It happens to all of us. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Touch your thighs to help that balance. And now imagine dropping, and scoop the belly into this chair. Now, if you're feeling strain in the low back, it's because you're arching, you're sticking that booty back to come down in that chair. Two things are going to happen when you do that. You're going to lose the power activation of your core, which also strains your low back, and you're straining your low back. So when you start to feel that little twinge, I want you to tuck your tailbone. See that? You can see it because I fixed my shirt so that you can see it. All right. So I'm going to come down just in chair pose. Now you can see I've got a little sway, and I'm going to tuck the tailbone. That takes that strain right on out of the low back. I'm closing the circuit here so that my body feels secure. You could be up here, right? You got to decide where you're at. And then, if you really want to amp up the work, you can come down here and lift the chest a little further, and you'll feel it. Now, forward folding chair is just that exact thing, except we're going to rest our torso on our legs, right? And then let our head tuck. Big low back stretch for forward folding chair. All right. Inhaling to prepare. I'm all set up. And we're going to go down. So I'm going to just rest. I'm going to sit down, rest my torso over my knees, drop my booty as deeply as I can, and then hang your upper body. Big low back stretch here. You can walk your hands a little further out or move that block and stretch them and find another space in the back to stretch. Trace the fingers all the way up. Big stretch and release. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to inhale. I'm going to take a quick puff because I'm going to start wheezing in a second. That was a bad one. There we go. Sorry. I must have missed that in my morning ablutions. Good word. All right, here we go. Big inhale up. Let's take our 3 big open arm circles. Now notice I'm not arching my back. I'm engaging the core. I'm soft in the knees. I want to feel tall without doing this, right? Tuck that tailbone. Inhaling up, lateral extension. Ooh, something just big release right there. All right, let's head for our forward folding chair. So we talked Utkatasana. Now this is Ardha Utkatasana. The counter position, relationally, the co-concentric relationship from forward folding chair is half lift. Scoop the belly and come on up. It's actually not half lift. It's more than that, but it's called half lift. I'm shaped like a banana, soft in the knees. I want to pull up and in, right? And I've got I'm just shaped like a banana right here. I'm pivoting. I'm holding my body weight up right here in the core, stretching the spine. My shoulders are tucked back. And now let's head for that block and take another forward fold, but we're not going to forward folding chair. So here's the difference between forward fold and forward folding chair. Forward folding chair, the back of my legs are extended, but I still have squish in my knees. My booty is going to stay in alignment with my heel, my knee, and actually I just said that, right? hips and booty stay in alignment with your knee and your heel, which means if you're like me and you have thunder thighs and you're carrying some weight in your belly, I don't, no judgment, because I'm doing it too. To keep that weight or to keep that alignment, I have to shift forward slightly. Now I'm out of my toes. I can wiggle my toes, see? And my legs are long, but they're not locked, right? Here's the soft bend, that's squish. This is hyperextension, that's locked. Oh, my ankle's really swollen. Weather changes, my rheumatism's acting up. All right, I'm back on the mat. We want to stretch hamstrings and stretch low back. We don't want to strain. Take your elbows to the knees and stretch on up. Ooh! 3 big open arm circles. And the reason that softness of knee is really important is because there's a thing called yoga butt. And it's a little they're microscopic tears, little tears in the fascia that connect your hamstring to the inside of your ischial tuberosity, okay, the low part of your pelvic cradle. And the problem with yoga butt is this. Steve, I'm talking to you. Remember, we fixed it for you. When you are locking your knees and overstretching in the belief that that's what's length, right? You can strain those fascia fibers, and then yoga butt feels like you need to stretch more. It's just the weirdest feeling. It doesn't actually feel like an injury. It feels like a tight muscle. And then you keep stretching and you stretch more and more and more, and you're doing more and more damage, and the yoga butt is getting worse, right? So the trick to solving yoga butt, if you're already there, is to stretch less, is to shallow out your forward folding, right? And I'll show you in staff pose when we sit down. And then the other thing to protect your hamstrings and to help ease that yoga butt is twofold. Squish in the knees. You'll see me when I'm working or standing, I do this a lot because I'm a knee locker. I have been for a real long time. I stopped doing it when I got my Pilates, earned my Pilates certification, and I radically changed my body composition and the way I hold myself. And boy, if you don't think that was painful, woo, hit by a truck painful, because then it was a whole physical shift. But softness in the knees means my muscles are working. Softness in the knees when we're stretching means I'm stretching muscles. I'm not overstraining. I'm not crunching my joints. I'm not pinching cartilage. And I'm not overstretching into those fascia tissues, right? Fascia fibers. So the first one is knee squish. Okay. What's the second one, Julia? The second one is to make contact with your legs as you're moving up and down. None of this swan dive shit, right? Here's the thing about swan dive. It's a dive. It's a gymnastics maneuver. And I have a lot of gymnast clients who fuck their bodies up in the name of gymnastics. And divers aren't holding their body weight up. They're just looking lovely or dancers are looking lovely. Don't get me started on dancers either. I have a lot of dancer yoga clients. All right. It's hard on the body. Don't tell me they're not athletes. Okay. Squish in the knees, and we're tracking up and down. You'll see me. I often do it by touching my thumbs to the outside of my legs, right? Or just touch your fingertips to the legs and trace it down. It keeps the electrical circuit of your brain closed so that your brain doesn't think you're going to fall, and it doesn't tense up the hamstrings. It's going to tense up the hamstrings because it thinks it's helping prevent you from falling. When it tenses up the hamstrings, we actually don't get a stretch. And we're going to stretch into those, into the fascia, which is so painful and takes so long to heal. So forward fold, squish in the knees, Tracing my hands down. I'm going to come out to this block, which is contact. Hips, knees, ankles in alignment. I can wiggle my toes, right? Now look at my knees. They're bent. If you need to come up higher, touch your shins. Now, yes, Julia, when I touch my shins, my booty's going to swing back a little bit. That cannot be helped. That's what happens, right? It's physics. But it's kinesiology. You will protect your low back and your hamstrings, and you're going to stretch your hamstrings rather than strain anything. Now, forward folding chair is booty way back, way back, way back. Same with chair pose, way back, way back, way back. Why can we do chair pose with our booty way back into the heels? Because we're not stretching. We're using those muscles. We're strengthening them up. We're wrapping them up around the femur to hold our body weight up in conjunction with our core, right? Take down to forward fold. Squish in the knees. All right, elbows to knees. Stretch on up. Big stretch to the ceiling. 3 big open arm circles. Now, chair pose is a strong pose. A forward folding chair is a stretching pose. It's a resting pose. I hope you're feeling it. My quads are fired. That's not my quad. My glutes are fired. My quads are fired. My hamstrings are fired. I'm feeling my calves. I'm feeling my core. Okay. Utkatasana. All right. That's chair pose. Uttasana is forward fold. Those are Sanskrit. I don't use the Sanskrit always, mostly because I can't remember it frequently. And I've got other things to devote my energy to, like fighting with the bank. And so forward fold, chair pose, forward folding chair. Those are what we worked on today. And we talked about knees, squish in the knees, and placement of feet, and activation of core, protecting our joints, our ligaments, and our fascia. All those things need our protection. Listen, we're going to strengthen our muscles. We're going to build strength. At the same time, we're going to keep those muscle fibers pliable and long. We're going to reduce injury. We're going to improve our balance. We're improving our cognition because we're thinking about all of these things. We're making contact with those small functions in our bodies. It's bang for your buck. Come on, bang for your buck, right? If you are subscribing, you are paying about a little $3 a class, depending on where you subscribe. And then the more you, I don't know, I did the math. Which might not have been great, but whatever. All right, we're going to start to cool down. Guess what we're doing in Vinyasa Yoga? We're going to do chair pose. There's some Utkatasana coming into our future. Some booty work. All right, what are we doing? We're going to go to our backs. Sorry. All righty, get yourself comfortable. I'm adding my layer. It's chilly where we're at. We're going to head to our spine. We want to cool ourselves down and take a little relaxing stretch. Move ourselves into final relaxation. I think I'm going to squeeze a little coffee in before Vinyasa Yoga. Whew. Bring my knees up, give them a squeeze. Take a little rock side to side. Somebody, I've been talking. when you're doing yoga, especially, so I have a prenatal certification. And when we're talking about doing yoga, it's okay to do some of these things on our backs. But Shavasana needs to happen on your side because that's going to be a little bit longer and immobile, right? Right when we're doing our cool down, we're moving, we're stretching. It's not going to be as critical. All right, left knee up between both hands. Stretch that right leg out. Excuse me, rock and roll the ankle. Oh. I was looking for my strap, but I don't know where it's at. I'm going to just press my heel up away from that hip, and I have my hand behind my leg. If you are doing this, get your strap, get your tool, it's not a tool, it's a prop. Here it is. And what the strap allows you to do is lengthen the lever of your arms. So soften the knee, dorsal flex the toes, press the heel away from the hip as long as you can, and keeping that soft bend in the knee. You might be way out here. That's perfectly okay. I don't know where I'm talking to. You might be up here. I happen to have a long inseam, so my legs are longer. I'm short-waisted. So it's just a physical thing. And my hamstrings are slightly longer, so I have a little bit more room. Plus, let me say, I've been doing yoga for 1988. I'm going to do the math. 1988, add 2, that's 1990. Okay, so 2002 is no 1990. 2000 is a decade. 2010 is a decade. 2020 is a decade. 5 years. I've been doing yoga for 37 fucking years. So I should have some length in my hamstrings. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, length in the left. I had to count on my fingers too. Lengthen. If you're using the strap, left hand on the ends of that strap. We're taking the leg out. If you don't have a prop, just slide the hand right below the knee, and you're going to rest your arm on the mat to help support that leg. Keep a dorsal flexion of the foot, soft bend in the knee. Draw that leg up. Bring the knee in. Ooh. And lengthen that leg. Ooh, feeling that. Bring the knee up, right knee up. Two-handed. Hug the knee up toward the chest. Rock and roll the ankle. God, that just stuns my brain. All right, I'm going to take my hand, the strap around my leg, press the heel away from the hip. So I say this often. I used to say it all the time in class. Yoga is not about touching your toes to your nose, right? It's about lengthening the leg and creating stretch from your hip to your heel. And then, look, I've got this little teeny weeny bend in my knee. Softness, squish. I could fall asleep. Here's the problem with not sleeping well. Anytime I get on this yoga mat, the floor heat's warm. This is my place. My brain just wants to go. I would snore too if I was sleeping on my back. Right hand, either right at the bottom, right around the knee, or up on that strap. We're going to take that leg out. Ooh. And bring it on in. Give that knee a squeeze. Bring both knees up. Take the hands to the insides of the knees and press out. Rock and roll the ankles. Bring the knees up and in. That's my spouse in his boots. What is he talking about? They've all gone. Ay. All right, I'm gonna let it go. All right. If you are still chilly, add a layer. Grab a blanket, put some socks on. Add a sweatshirt if you haven't. If you live on a farm, flannel shirts are the new cardigans because there's so many things that get snagged or painted on or anything else. We're going to move into final relaxation. Legs extended, arms at your sides, palms up. This is a traditional Shavasana. You might not feel comfortable in this position. A lot of people aren't. You're feeling some strain in the low back. Tuck a pillow behind the back of your knees, or move your feet up onto the mat, knees to the ceiling, and let your knees tent in. Arms can be anywhere you want them to be. At your side, palms up, laying on your ribs, up in cactus. If you are gestating a human being completely and fully of your own autonomous will, and you have access to all of your reproductive rights as a human being with your own agency, lay on your side. I think it's your left side. I will have to check on that. I can't remember. But while you're doing that, tuck a pillow between your knees, support your head with a pillow, and then wrap your arm around a pillow, right? We're going to pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our forehead. And I want you to notice all of the tiny little muscles and nerve endings around the eyes, in the cheeks, unclench the teeth, pulling your attention and awareness down through the jaw, unclench or let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Give me a little shake of the head, no. Give me a little shake of the shoulders, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, and then let the upper body rest onto the mat. Follow the spine with your imagination from the base of the neck down through the shoulders and the ribs. Tuck the tailbone up and then release the hips heavily into the mat. Give me a little tension in the quads, a little shimmy, shake of the hips, flex the calves, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, and then relax the lower body. Pulling our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and just quiet the mind. There might be some stuff boiling around in there. It's trying to slop over into our quiet space. Just, leave it on the other side. And then anchor that silence into the breath. And we're just going to follow the inhale and the exhale. pulling that attention and awareness into the space and quality of your body. Spread it out. Wiggle the fingers. Roll the wrists, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. Take a few deep breaths. Mine just turned into a big yawn. Bring those arms out to the side and then reach them out into a Y shape. Why? Do not know. Bring a knee up. Give it a squeeze. Bring the other knee up. Give it a squeeze. I actually do know, but it's pointless at this point. It's moot. It's moot. Little rock side to side. We're going to rock all the way over and peel our upper body off the mat first. It's called log rolling. All right. Moving your body into comfortable seated position. Whatever that looks like for you on this side of the practice, it might be different, right? Than when we started. Little rock side to side. Roll the shoulders. Take a little rock with the head. Tilt the ear over. Bow forward. Tilt the ear over the other side. Oh, yeah. Pulling our attention and awareness into the state and quality of your physical form. Check in. How you feeling on this end of the practice? I feel pretty damn good. I love fucking yoga. Move that attention and awareness into the state and quality of your breath and notice. And this really isn't a judgment. I just want you to pay attention to how you breathe. The breathing is what keeps us alive, right? It's what works for us. And, we don't breathe, we're not alive. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be not here. And so give it its honor. Sometimes it's working real hard for us and all we can do is complain about it. So finally checking in with your brain. What's going on with your thinking? How you feeling? I hope you're feeling nice and open and lovely and calm. And now you can start to organize your to-do list and prioritize what really needs to be done today. If you're like me, your to-do list has got 1,000 things on it, and you just added 2 or 3 more things. Just tackle what you can get done today. Here's an example. I can't deal with the bank anymore, and I can't deal with the bank until Tuesday because Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which I'm also irritated about. And so I gotta focus on what I can focus on, and I can't give any fucks to what I can't focus on, right? Don't need to focus on. So, and then finally, just letting practice go, blinking our eyes open. I'm gonna take a lovely stretch outward. Letting all of that go, honoring your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. My name is Julia. This is the fucking Yoga Company. Yoga for the rest of us. I hope you're safe. I hope you are finding some joy, even if it's little. I have a little bit of joy right now, and their names are Aoife and Anya and Grizel. That's my joy right now. Ciao. That's all I got.